Hey, what's up, dudes? My name is Peroz. Welcome back to our more tutorials and things. Today we're going to be learning how to overlay Killfeed onto your cinematics. I don't think there's really too much to talk about this one. Overlaying the Killfeed is just kind of a really cool effect, and you might have noticed in a few of my recent edits have been doing it quite often. Oh, I can't figure out what else to say, so we'll just jump straight into it. I don't know. I'll put a picture of your mum up over here. Look,
Bruh.
see mum. I'm fucking that.
So overlaying the kill feed on cinematics and other clips is such an awesome fucking effect, and I feel like it's like it goes really well with even like simple edits. You know, you add a couple cinematics in there and you have the kill feed overlay, and it's all perfect. So I'm just using a clip from a recent teamtage I did for Seraphim, so because I already have all the cinematics made. Got a couple here, not bad. So I will say really quickly that sometimes with these new gen CODs, because you have to find the fonts to do this. Otherwise, you have to do a bunch of compositing and overlaying and masking if you want to cut out the actual kill feed itself. But finding the fonts are really difficult. Sometimes you can find fonts that are like extremely similar that no one notices, which is what I've done for Black Ops 7, because I'm pretty sure on Black Ops 7 they have made like their own font and they haven't released it to the public or what have you. So the font I use is really similar. I will have the Black Ops 7 font in the description. But for all the other fonts for the other CODs, just Google it. Just say, hey, COD 4 Killfeed font, and go down a rabbit hole and try to find it. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do all the work for you. So, alright, we'll actually jump into doing this now. So, we'll go to wherever the kill feed is, you know, where you want it, and we'll have a looky here. So this is what the kill feed looks like, and he's got the headshots here, which is going to be an extra layer of shit. So we'll make a text, and you want to use the font that is at marker text VF, this one right here, just in regular. I guess it sort of depends on the person's settings on Black Ops 7, because there are a lot of HUD settings on this game, so everyone has something different. So bring this back to normal, and we'll type his first name, so it's USR. USR. There we go, motherfucker. And it is really small, but it is right there. Maybe I just increase it real quick. There it is, right there. And you can see I recently done this because all the colors is kind of similar. So we will just double click here to highlight the text, and we'll bring it down to maybe something like 20. You can copy all of my things if you like, but people do run different HUD settings. So, you know, some people have the larger HUD scale or whatever it is, the setting on the COD. And yeah, so size it up and place it where it looks good, and then you can double click to highlight the text here and change the color. So you can even click on the color picker and try to click on like a part of the text that like might look good, something like this maybe. So it doesn't need to be super perfect, because it's not like masking the kill feed where it has to be super perfect so it looks the exact same as the others under it. You can get away with it being not super perfect because it is going over a cinematic in front or behind the clip. So it won't be quite overlaid. So what I like to do is I like to do one row at a time. So we'll do this row. So now we've got to get the gun, and the way we get the gun is we duplicate this bitch. We duplicate the clip, sorry, and we'll just zoom in here like quite a bit, and we'll just rename this to gun mask just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to follow along. And we will literally just mask around this gun. So I do a new mask every time I do a different clip, but you can just mask this out and then like save like the gun as like a PNG, or drag it into Photoshop and mask the gun out there. Yeah. But I just do it every time. So we just do something like this. So you press G to bring up the mask as well, by the way, sorry. And you just follow along. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, we'll go like this. Like this. I hold shift while I'm doing this as well, and I just kind of follow the squares and the pixels along. So this won't be like super perfect. I'm going kind of quickly because tutorial and shit. Don't want it to be super long, you know. I don't know, something like this. But I kind of use the squares just as a little bit of a guide. Probably not the best thing to do, but hey, it's whatever. I would definitely recommend going into Photoshop if you got it, and actually like cutting this out like really nicely, and then you just have one that you can use over and over and over again. But yeah, I just cut it out every time. I don't know, I like stuff to be painful for some reason. Let's go something like this and go boom. If we turn this layer off, there we go, we've got our little gun. And we can now right click this layer here, and we can go time, and then we can go freeze frame, and it'll freeze on this frame, so that way it just stays like as is. There we go. So now so far, if I just unzoom, we've got the title and the gun. So now we need to get everything else. So next would be the enemy's name. Right here, this one. And some people have some really fucking annoying names. Look at this! What is this? I have to fucking retype this whole thing out, dude. So we'll duplicate our USR here, our player name, and then we'll just go BGHSMAT. Oh my god, like, what is this fucking name, dude? There we go. Make sure it sort of matches up kind of nicely. Doesn't need to be super perfect. Something like that we can get away with. And we'll just double click on fill, and we'll grab the eyedropper, and we will just try to duplicate the color as best we can. That's not too bad. Not too bad. We can make it like a little bit darker, maybe, just so it matches a little bit better. Something like that. Something like that. Obviously, our text is going to be way cleaner than, you know, the text that is actually there in game, but something like that will do just fine. And then we can turn off the bottom layer there, and that's our kill feed. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And you just rinse and repeat for the rest of it. Now this glowing part here on the left, I use a shape object. So I click on rectangle tool while I'm not clicked on any other layers, so it makes a shape. I just try to follow it best I can after turning the stroke off by clicking on stroke, and then we turn the fill on. Turn that on to solid. Alright, now that we've actually got our settings down, we can make the little glowy part here that's always at the end. Something like that, really thin. Really thin. Turn it off and on so we can see that we've sort of positioned it correctly. So we can actually make this thinner if we can, if it'll let us. Somewhere around there. It does need to be pretty thin. Just turn it off and on so we can see it. If you click on this icon right here, it'll turn off the layer sort of lines that get in the way. So that's not bad. That will do. So now we will add some layer styles. So you right click your shape layer, go to where are we? Layer styles, and we'll just go outer glow, and it'll make a little bit of a glow for us. Then we can change the color, try and match it best we can. If we just turn off this, we can go boop 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 boop. So it's not looking super great. So something like this will do just fine. Just to stick with some glow on it. It doesn't need to be as pedantic as I'm making it out to be. Alright, so we have one line perfectly done. So what we can do is we can copy. First we'll put our guide on our clip, turn the clip back on, and we'll bring this text up and just line it up with the next row best we can, something like that. I'll bring the gun mask up and above as well. Duplicate the gun, bring that over. Line it up as best you can. There we go, that's not bad. Little check here. Not bad. Now you can see that we have the skull here as well. So we're just going to duplicate the gun mask. Get rid of the gun mask. And we're going to rename this just skull, I guess. And then we're just going to cut out the skull. Very basically, nothing fancy here. Just like following the pixels again. Let's go across here like this. Just sort of follow the squares a little bit. Doesn't need to be crazy perfect. Like that, something like that, something like that. Like this. this, something like this. It's probably not going to look that great, but it'll be fine. So now we have our skull cut out. But it's so small, you know, you're not really going to be able to notice any of those differences. So now we got our little skull. Which doesn't actually look that bad. It's not that great either, but it's not that bad. So there we go. So now we'll just position the skull where it needs to be, because I cut out the one above, and we'll just bring it on down. So I just like to hold downwards on the D-pad so it sort of stays like pretty lined up. So right there looks pretty good to me. And we just rinse and repeat, you know, we copy the text of the enemy, we rename it to this guy's name, like that. And then we can hold up, or we can literally just grab it with the mouse and place it as best as we can. And then we do the same thing with the player name, USR. And we can either use the D-pads if we want to be really pedantic, or we can just grab it with the mouse and place it somewhat where it needs to be. Same with the gun now. So we can just hold upwards with the gun. There we go. So we'll get rid of the mask lines there so we can actually see what the fuck we're doing. And we just do the same thing over and over again. There we go. Something like that ought to do. Same thing with the skull, because, you know, he's been getting headshots. Just bring the skull up. Up. There we go. Something like that. And then, obviously, with the names again. 2019. So you can see the text isn't quite perfect, but it's pretty fucking close. Something like this. And because the name up here is the same as the one down here, we can just copy and paste that person's name. Alright, so now we have our makeshift kill feed made. You can even, you know, if it was really starting to fade or something like that, you could change the opacity of like one of these layers. Like this top one was starting to fade, so if I just select the name and the skull and the gun mask and the name here, and I press T, it'll bring up the opacity, and I can change it to 75 on one of them, and it'll change to all of them. And there we go, it's like a little bit more faded. Maybe we can make it a bit lower, but that'll do. So we've got it all lined up, it's all perfect. Now we just select all of these, and we just bring them on over towards the cinematic here. Obviously, then we can just bring all those down over here like that. There we go. So there we go, and it goes bang like that. Let me turn the clip back on. Well, obviously we need to stretch these out too, so they actually last the length of the clip here. There we go. So obviously I haven't touched the clip at all, and you do see the kill feed fade just before it comes back like that, which is not really what you want. But if I had actually you know, edited it and slowed it down, I would make it so that the kill feed was still pretty solid and seeable, so that way the transition would look a little bit nicer. Yeah, not much else to it. You can definitely get fancy with it. You can grab this, pre-compose it all, and like 3D drag it to like this truck or something like that. That would be kind of sweet. Yeah, so not bad at all. You can even have them like fade if you wanted to. You just, you know, edit the opacity. And if you want it to be a little bit easier, you can pre-compose like each line. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys use this effect because it's really cool, and I don't really see that many people using it these days. And it's just that simple to do. You know, you can make the masks quite rough because of how small the text is and everything. So yeah, go out there, have a good time. Let me know if you learned something. Join the fucking Discord, and yeah, I'll see you later for dinner with your mum. Let's see you, boys.